This Supergirl trailer has one very dangerous quality. It made me believe DC might actually know what movie it's making, and that is dangerous. Because comic book trailers have been lying to us for years. They show you one moody song, one wounded face, one cool shot of a cape in space, and suddenly you're out here constructing an emotional masterpiece in your head while the actual movie is still being edited into a large branded soup. But this one, well, this one has a pulse. Not because of Lobo, we'll get to the space biker with the tax fraud bread, not because Krypto is here, although yes, obviously, emotionally manipulative superdog content is cheating and I respect it. And not even because they're clearly pulling from Women of Tomorrow, which they are. It works because underneath all the cool trailer candy, this actually looks like a movie about a person who is still emotionally wrecked and very bad at pretending otherwise. That's the movie. And the reason I'm interested is not that the universe got bigger, it's that Kara looks more damaged than advertised. Which is why the very first scene matters more than it looks. Because Superman showing up here is not really Superman at all. So let's go through what in this trailer is actually story, what's just sugar, what looks smart, and what could still blow up in DC's face if they get nervous halfway through. And subscribe, because if I'm going to keep sorting real comic book storytelling from expensive wallpaper, I would like backup. So the trailer opens with Superman checking in on Kara. Now, in a lesser movie, that would just be, hey look, shared universe, everyone clap politely. But that's not the part that matters. The part that matters is what the scene reveals about her. Clark is worried. She keeps drifting off-world. He's basically telling her that if she never stays anywhere, she'll never find her people. And Kara's energy in that moment is not cool lone wolf. It's much sadder than that. It's closer to, I have no idea where I belong, so I have made movement into a personality. That's good. Now that's very good. Because the trap with Supergirl is making her Superman but with attitude. That's lazy. Spiritually bankrupt. Franchise poison. This trailer avoids that immediately. Clark feels rooted. Kara feels like Fallout with a haircut. It gives her emotional separation from Superman right away. It also gives the whole movie a better question than, can she stop the villain? The better question is, what do you do with someone who survived the end of a world and never came down from it? That's a movie. Also, I appreciate Superman opening the trailer like cosmic family tech support guy. Hey, just checking in. Are you still emotionally spiraling across galaxies? Good cousin behavior. And once the trailer gives you that emotional distance, it has to show you where it came from. Which is why the Krypton material matters more than just, look, lore. The shots of Kara being sent away by Zor-El and the glimpse of Argo before destruction are doing way more work than just, look, lore. Because this is where the trailer quietly says, no, we are not treating Kara's trauma like generic Kryptonian backstory garnish. This is the engine. This is the cracked foundation she's still walking on. And that matters because a lot of superhero movies use pain like seasoning. Sprinkle a dead planet on top. Add one sad stare. Done. Character depth achieved. Here it feels more embedded than that. Kara doesn't just remember Krypton, she seems misaligned because of it. And that's the difference. When she says,
I have no people,
it lands because the trailer has already shown you where that feeling comes from. So now the movie is not just cosmic adventure, it becomes a story about exile that never finished becoming identity. And the Jimmy Ruffin song helps a lot. What becomes of the brokenhearted is not subtle, but subtle is overrated when used properly. It gives the trailer a wounded emotional lane instead of just epic female hero content. Which, thank God. Because look, she's badass is one of the most destructive phrases in modern genre marketing. It has flattened more female characters than bad writing admits to. This looks better than that. This looks like she's hurting, funny in a sideways way, and a little feral around the edges. Much healthier. But grief on its own is not yet a movie. Grief needs direction. It needs somebody to bounce against. That's where Ruthye comes in. Now we get to Ruthye, who is probably the single biggest reason this doesn't just become sad Supergirl does crimes in space. Her family gets slaughtered by Krem and the Brigands. Krypto gets poisoned. Now suddenly you have two different griefs moving in the same direction for completely different reasons, and that's strong. Ruthye wants revenge. Kara needs the antidote. That gives you the practical engine, but underneath that, the real thing is much better. Kara now has to travel besides a younger, angrier version of unresolved pain. She has to watch what vengeance looks like before it hardens into identity. The trailer gives you the clean revenge setup with the line,
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
tells you the movie is trying to do something more than just fuel up the plot. Kara's not giving TED Talk wisdom there. She sounds like someone who knows the lesson because she's been carrying the wrong version of it for years. That's what I want. Not superhero therapy dialogue. Not lesson learned sludge. I want pain talking to pain and being annoyed that it recognizes itself. And Ruthye gives the movie shape. Without her, this risks becoming a vibe machine. With her, it can become a conversation about what grief mutates into when no one interrupts it, which is much more interesting than another laser in the sky. But for that conversation to move, this movie needs more than feeling. It needs a ticking reason to keep going. Enter the poison dog, which is both shameless and smart. Let's talk about the poison superdog. Because yes, on the surface, this is shameless emotional leverage. Dog in danger. 3-day antidote clock. Audience immediately seated and clutching armrest. But structurally, this is smart. In adaptations like this, the danger is always drift. Cosmic setting. Wounded protagonist. Revenge quest. A lot of mood. A lot of atmosphere. Great. But if you don't sharpen the engine, the whole movie can start wandering around the galaxy in expensive melancholy. Krypto fixes that. 3 days to save him gives the story urgency. That urgency gives all the emotional stuff a spine. Now the movie can be bruised and moody and still move like a movie. That's the key. The best genre storytelling is not just theme and not just plot. It's one forcing the other to behave. Also, yes, Krypto is basically the cinematic equivalent of loading a cheat code into the audience's nervous system. You put a dog in danger and suddenly everyone develops ethics, tenderness, and bloodlust at the same time. Very efficient. Honestly, this may be one of DC's better discoveries. If your cosmic movie starts floating away into abstraction, threaten the super dog, and the whole thing snaps back into focus. Ruthless. Effective, I approve. Now once the plot is moving, the next question is obvious. Who exactly are we moving against? And that's where crime becomes more important than just guy with bad intentions. Krem looks right to me for one reason. He doesn't look like a generic event villain. He feels like a person-shaped source of damage. That matters a lot, because cosmic villains often fail for the same reason luxury hotels fail to feel haunted. Too much scale, not enough intimacy. You get the sense of importance, but not the sting. Krem seems to solve that. He is the man who turns Ruthye's grief into motion and forces Kara to face hers in a new form. That's a much better use of a villain than, this ancient force will consume all star systems unless someone punches a portal. The trailer sells him as a threat. What actually makes him useful is that he localizes the emotional damage. He gives the pain a face. And I'm fine with him looking meaner here than in the comics. Honestly, more intimidating space pirate is one of those notes where I simply do not have revisions. Sometimes adaptation is just seeing a thing and going, yes, more dangerous, less decorative, thank you, no notes. But if Krem is the emotional pressure, Lobo is the tonal disruption, and that's a very different job. Now Jason Momoa's Lobo. This is where the movie could have been extremely annoying, because Lobo is one of those characters who can hijack the whole room if you let him. He's pure comic book access. He's what happens when a heavy metal t-shirt gains legal personhood. But the trailer seems to understand the dosage. He shows up in a cosmic dive bar, insults Kara, gets insulted back, and immediately changes the rhythm without taking ownership of it. That's exactly how you use him. Lobo enters with enough chaos to spike the energy, but he still feels like seasoning, not the main course. That's crucial, because if this became Lobo featuring Supergirl, this movie would die in a leather jacket. Fun jacket, granted, but still dead. And yes, the space hog looks cool. Yes, the chain hook at the end is cool. Yes, Momoa looks like he was genetically assembled in a biker bar beneath a dying star. All of that is working exactly as intended. But the reason it works is because the trailer doesn't pretend he's the emotional center. He's there to rough up the movie, to add grime, to stop the grief from becoming too solemn, and solemnity from becoming too tasteful. And that's useful. Every wounded space opera needs one idiot who arrives like a bad decision with muscles. Lobo is that idiot. idiot, respectfully. And once you strip away that bike, the hook, the bar fight, the cosmic swagger, the trailer keeps pointing you back to the same thing anyway: damage. This is the part that actually matters. The best thing about the trailer is not that it has action. Plenty of trailers have action. Action is cheap. You can buy it wholesale now with AI. The best thing here is that the trailer keeps returning to damage. Kara says she has no people. Clark worries she's drifting too far to find any. Ruthye is broken in a younger, sharper way. Krypto's poisoning turns grief into urgency. Kara has to carry someone else's revenge while confronting her own emotional debris. And the movie keeps circling the same core idea. Pain does not heal just because you give it direction. And that's the actual movie. All the trailer candy gets you in: Superman, dog, space pirates, Lobo, chain hook, bike, cosmic bar nonsense. The thing holding it together is much more human. It's grief with different faces trying to move through the same story. That's why this feels more promising than a lot of superhero marketing lately. It's not just expanding a universe, it's trying to build an interior. That's rare. And yes, it could still collapse. Trailers are confidence scams with music, but if the film holds on to this emotional center, then DC might actually have something here beyond, look, now this person has a franchise too. That would be nice. And that's really the whole verdict. The coolest stuff is not the stuff making the most noise. It's the stuff telling you what kind of hurt this movie is built around. So for me, the biggest takeaway from the Supergirl trailer is not that DC made a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's that they made a cosmic movie that seems to understand grief is more interesting than lore, and that changes everything. Superman's call matters because it tells you who Kara is not. The Krypton material matters because it tells you what she lost. Ruthye matters because she gives the pain a mirror. Krypto matters because the movie needs a clock. Krem matters because hurt needs a face. Lobo matters because grief should not become too tidy. And that's the balance. If the film keeps that balance, wounded, funny in the right places, emotionally scruffy, just weird enough to feel lived in, then this could be one of the first DCU movies that feels like it isn't trying to imitate old superhero grammar. It's trying to make its own. And honestly, that matters a lot more than the bike. This is Ish vs. Hollywood, and I'm looking forward to this movie.